Celeb Savant is a career retrospective type interview focusing on singers, actors, and industry experts. Join Barrett Edelstein now as he dives into the entertainment world.
Namibian artist Lioness is a rapper, accomplished songwriter, and award-winning fashion influencer. Her dynamic talents extend beyond the realms of music, as she also holds qualifications as a medical practitioner specializing in aesthetic medicine. With an impressive 16-year journey in music, Lioness has triumphed over numerous challenges on her quest to fulfill her creative aspirations. Her notable works include the albums Pride of Silk in 2017, Wish You Were Here 2020, the EP Dance and Dance released in 2022, and her latest release, her third studio album, If Not in This Life. The EP is an experimental project which showcases Lioness's versatility with international collaborations featuring esteemed artists such as Tammy Moyo, Jay DeRoby, and Foles. Her music videos for Superstar and Feelings surpassed 200,000 YouTube views, with Tala, Memi, and Dreams close behind. Beyond art, Lioness dedicates herself to inspiring and empowering young women across Africa, sharing her experiences and emphasizing limitless career possibilities at various university seminars. Lioness, known for her magnetic performances in Kenya, South Africa, and Malawi, boasts a global influence through collaborations with artists such as Willie Manfred and many more. Her work extends to impactful partnerships with brands such as Topscore, Horizon Beer, Nedbank, and Cheetah Conservation. Lioness has won the prestigious Best New Act Award at the Scream All Youth Awards. She has also won 2 coveted Shining Star Awards, distinguishing her as both the Best Female Artist of the Year and Best Rising Star of the Year in Southern Africa. She was also nominated for the coveted title of Coke Studio Song of the Year in 2019 for a collaboration with formidable Boitumale Boitse Tulo from South Africa and Kenya's Nazizi Hirji on the electrifying track Switch It Up. Up next on Celeb Savant, we've got Lioness. Where in the world are you and how are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm currently in Namibia, Windhoek, so I hope to have you sometime soon.
Yes, very excited to have my first Namibian artist as a guest on Celeb Savant. Very exciting.
Yay!
Now,
Woohoo!
so now tell us the name, Lioness, how, where, and what?
Well, yeah, so Lioness it has a funny story actually. The nickname really came from me having a lot of hair as a child. And so they used to call me Little Lion in my household. And then over the years when I started my rap career at a very, very early age is where I sort of took on that nickname because I couldn't think of anything else. And then over the years, I sort of like grew and developed into the lioness in terms of taking on the principles and really the characteristics of a lioness. So I guess, yeah, it worked out for the best. So there isn't really too much to say, except that that's the history of it.
What are your perceptions and what are your perceptions of the principles of a lioness and what are they for you?
Well, what they are for me is definitely fierce, proud, calm, poised, elegant, and basically not taking any, nonsense. I was raised in a household where we were just women and I was raised by a single mother. So I was able to see those characteristics of being brave, being fearless, really trying to face the world, for the lack of a better word. And so, having that from inside out, it definitely just clicked together. And I appreciate calling myself Lioness in retrospect, my younger self.
Okay, so you referenced that you started rapping young. At what age did you feel called to do this? And how did the journey progress to where we are today?
Yeah, sure. I think I started rapping approximately at 14 years old. And that's when I really was like, writing raps and going on to cyphers and doing all of that stuff. So I've done it all. I really have done the cyphers. I've done the beatboxing on the streets, with the guys. I've been in the industry for about 17 years, so it's really a long time coming. but professionally more so 7 years. And my career actually, ironically, started when I lost my mother 7 years ago. I wrote a song, obviously thinking of everything, taking everything into perspective. And that's when my professional career started. And then everything went basically skyrocketed. So it's been a long year, 17 years. Unfortunately, I'm not an overnight success, but I appreciate that this is where it builds me to this point.
For the 10 years that it wasn't professional, you said you were doing stuff on this beatboxing in the street and that. So did that continue? And then from that track just blowing up, that allowed you to step into the professional space. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's correct. I met a couple of people along the way who were like, maybe you should get into studio and record and do things on a professional level. So it was all baby steps till this point.
When things became professional,
Yeah.
it was a long time coming. It was 10 years, as you said, and became professional. What was the thing that kept you going, that kept you saying, okay, cool, well, I'm just going to carry on doing with this?
It was a love for it. So in my daytime, as you can see, I am a doctor, so I'm wearing scrubs. And I had to like really quickly rush out for this, but it was the love for it. I found that I fell deeper and deeper in love with music and art. I have sort of a creative background. I did classical ballet growing up and contemporary dance. I played the piano. My sister is a international DJ as well as producer, so it was always something in the back, something somewhere creative. So I found that when I would record songs, I loved it, and when I would perform, I loved it even more. And I just wanted to be better and better, and obviously, have dreams for myself as an artist. So it was the love for it, really, and the fact that I couldn't be without it.
How do you balance being an artist and a doctor?
How do I balance it? It almost came synergistically. So, like, I was still in med school doing that. And then I was, recording music on the weekends or when I had free time. And I always found that when I was in the studio, it was such a relief. I didn't find it like it was work or something that I had
Yeah.
to like, it really was effortless almost. And now, obviously, being qualified and even specializing in the field that I'm doing now, I still maintain, doing art as an sort of like a form of escapism. I don't know how I'm always tired. I have burned out, which is not nice. There are no rules to life and how you should live your life and how
Yeah.
your career should go. So it's one of those things where I love them both. They both give me a reason to live and purpose in my life.
Okay, so from 0 to 3 to 4 minutes in creating a song. Is it easy every time? What motivates it? What invigorates it? Let's unpack your creative brain.
Sure. So for me, in the recent years, maybe in the past EP that I did, as well as this album, I decided to do music that I love to listen to. I think in the past, I had a lot of pressures to do, what people wanted me to do and do what is trending at that time. And I always felt that it always felt short. I would listen to my music and I was like,
Yeah.
cringing, to be honest, because I listen to myself as a consumer. I think that's
Yes.
very important, to be like, well, people really appreciate this. But I found that appreciation comes from myself. So I would listen to a beat, I would listen to heaps and heaps of beat, and whatever catches me, whatever lands in my chest, literally is what I tell people, is what I would write to. If nothing comes immediately, so no, lyrics come immediately, I would listen to it for a week, a couple of days, and just let it come to me naturally. But most of the time, if I hear something, I'm writing to it. I've got lyrics in under an hour. So it's about the feeling and how the comfort of sitting into that beat and just feeling free.
What's coming up next? So has the album been released already, or it's in the process of being released?
Yeah, so it's been released on the 18th of October. So
Okay.
that's my third studio album.
Okay.
And currently I'm in post album mode. So I'm, shooting and releasing a couple of videos. I'm an independent artist, so I'm struggling to like get big features, but I'm like sending emails. I'll send emails. The one thing about me is I'll send emails and I will cross my fingers and send it off to the universe. Whatever happens, happens. So I'm looking for, some remixes, some deluxe editions, but let's see where it goes.
With me, when I'm reaching out for artists, yes, I send it to the universe, but I also follow up. I say, hey, following up. And I always say, when can we schedule the interview? So you must follow
Yes.
up and put in the email, say, when is whomever available for us to discuss further? And
Yes, absolutely.
you mustn't be scared to be tenacious because it's the only way. They keep seeing your email in your face and like, who's this person? Let's just sit down and let them chat with us. Some of them get
Yeah,
irritated, but those irritated people are the ones that you don't want in your space because then they're just boring. So
exactly. That's true. I'll follow up. I do follow up and I definitely will. Thanks.
I love me a CD. I love the aesthetic of holding something. I love the journey of the choice, the unpacking, the receiving. For me, it's a
Yeah.
thank you, energy exchange to you guys for all the hard work that you do. I'm not sure if
Thank
you're aware that
you.
CDs, vinyls, and cassettes, can you believe even cassettes, are on a massive comeback around the world. Last year, 5.9 million vinyl sold in the UK, the biggest since 1990. Again, in the UK, there's a
Great.
basket of products that they gauge for tax purposes, and CDs, because of the upsurge, are back in that basket. And the research is showing that
Wow.
it's not the older people that's buying it, it's the teenagers and the younger kids. We've also got these streaming platforms that people listen to music on. What are your observations of the landscape at the moment?
Sure. Well, in all honesty, people want things for free. It's really weird. My album currently is not on YouTube. It's not on YouTube, like really, upload on YouTube and you can
Yeah.
watch it. It's on YouTube Studio. So I find a lot of people are like, but where can we listen? And I was like, you can listen anywhere else, like, on all streaming platforms. And they're like, oh, but I don't have Spotify. And I was like, well, I've got to make money back from all of the
Yes,
time and effort and money that I've put in it.
exactly.
So I find that a lot of people want things for free and and the consumerism, if, yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
consumerism,
Yeah.
it is killing us artists. They don't want to hear 21 track albums. They want to hear something short, something sweet, something that's going to be ear candy and then out the next day. And it's difficult, especially when you really, really are a true creator. Like you're not
Yeah.
looking for a one-hit wonder. So it's a little bit of a weird space. And also I am a mother, so I'm also very particular on what I put out, and some of the things are very, I like to say grown and sexy. That's my era. Can relate maybe to a 25-year-old, but not really an 18-year-old. So
Yeah.
it's a weird space that I am, but I'm grateful to be in my era that I'm supposed to be at,
Yeah.
which is my age bracket. So it's weird. It's weird. It's not like in the 90s where people would listen to one CD back to back
Mm.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm still getting the hang of this new wave of
Yes.
technology.
And you referenced earlier that you love performing live. Why do you enjoy it?
Because that's the time where I can do anything that I want. I enjoy the crowd and the cheer and the appreciation of the art. I've been exposed to creative art, being on stage, and I found that I love that. I would rather be on a set of something or a mass production of something. And that's what makes me happy. So I love showing off what I can do. And also translating my music in movement and dance, and that's
Yes.
my thing.
So
Yeah.
I love this game. I know have if I had to ask you this question tomorrow, next year, 5 hours, I know your answer will be different every time. I understand
Yeah.
that and I recognize that. I'm not saying favorite, I'm saying top of mind. If you had to push
Okay.
play to 5 songs by other artists, or if you can't think of specific songs, just focusing on 5 artists that you play music of, who would those artists be? And if you can think of songs, what would those songs be?
Phew, off the bat, number one would probably be Michael Jackson, Human Nature. Number two would probably have to be anything by Drew Hill. Sorry if that's vague. I was
No,
listening
that's
to a
fine.
song, but I can't remember the
That's fine.
title. Number three would probably be Tim's Replay, Rihanna Work,
Hmm.
and Nicki Minaj, Moment for Life.
So, Lioness, the podcast is listened to throughout the world. As a final message, what would you like to say?
I would like to spread the message in two parts. So, number one, to my little fan base, thank you so much. We are finally here on an international platform. Little wins are always wins. So, thank you guys so much for listening to my music. To the artists, don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep to the plan, stick to the plan. Do not give in to the pressures that are short term because they never give long term results. So keep doing art and make music that you love. Someone somewhere is going to catch it. We're not all a Tyler, bless her soul. She is the exception to the rule, and create freely. So those are my two messages.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Celeb Savant. Please follow Barrett on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Celeb Savant. That's CelebSavant.